Hey, folks. So I'm going to give it a second for you guys to get on in here. And I am ready to have this conversation tonight. I'm so ready to have this conversation. So get in here, say hi. We're gonna get to going on this thing. And then I am going to give you all the details. I am joined by the amazing Dr. Walter Sims. He's what I don't even know this long old thing. He says America's best something motivation. He'll tell you when he gets on here. I can't think of this long old title he says. All I know is he loves to motivate people, and we're gonna talk about that tonight. But he and I, we tend to we bump heads just a smidge, y'all, just a smidge. He and I bump heads. Not bump heads. That's not even the right word to say. We have healthy discussion and dialogue around different issues, especially with regard to religion and hot button issues that everyone is talking about. And we kind of talk about these things and go back and forth. And I love it because he's open to the conversation, which a lot of people are not, right? And B, we can have this healthy exchange without needing to condemn each other or put anybody down or tell anybody they're wrong. We literally desire to create understanding, and you don't find that oftentimes, right? And so he and I talk about issues. When we talk about racial issues, we talk about sexual issues, like from female and males and genders and relationships. And so tonight, that's what we're going to be focusing on. And if you saw my little brief live this morning, I'd seen a clip from one of his other shows, and I'm gonna share it with you. And it had me a little riled up this morning, just a smidge, just a tiny bit. Let me share this daggone video and get us going, and then we are ready to go so that I can, yes, on my feed, live now. Tune in. All right. Now that I have done my due diligence and shared everything, how are you guys? Y'all doing all right today? Hey, Mindy B. Look, I should have known your tail was going to be up in here. Okay, so listen, before we dive right in, let me just remind you all that we are currently raising funds for the talk show that we are doing here in Atlanta, Georgia. If you want more information on the talk show, or if you want to become a sponsor or donate, you can do that at thedanicookShow.com, or you can go to the GoFundMe that is right here on the screen if you see that. All right, now that I have done that, let's bring this on. So if you have ever joined me before, if you've seen me on his show, I am being joined by pastor and certified life coach, Dr. Walter Henry Sims. I'm going to give you all his government because he put all his government on Facebook like that. And so we have these great discussions around, like I said, everything: religion, politics, racial issues, relationships, and so forth. And I hit him up this morning. And good evening, Kevin. And I'm just gonna tell y'all, I sent him a text this morning. I didn't even start with good morning. My text this morning said, "Your friend is sexist." I get frustrated every time I watch him. And he was like, "Dang!" And I was like, "I'm just saying," because it's another pastor slash coach friend of his that I've seen on another broadcast. And I wanted to bring that conversation into tonight because I believe that religion and faith, issues around faith, are incredibly important to us. Our faith is a core issue, a core value, and that core value drives a lot of other things in our life. And that is why you see faith, and specifically religion and Christianity, being used to divide, right? To dominate, to control, in a lot of different ways. And we've seen that historically, right? Why did America even become like the United States of America, right? Well, because they were pursuing freedom of religion, right? They had suffered religious persecution. We know that religion is very powerful when you are using it, and you can use it for good or you can use it for bad, right? And so tonight we're going to be talking about it in a more, I don't know, semi lighthearted way, but at the same time, very, very serious, right? Because our relationships, our spouses, our significant others, our life partners is probably one of, if not the most important thing that we could ever choose in this life. And the fact that, this is a key driver behind it is relatively important. You know what I mean? So go on and share this live. Let everybody know we're watching. Join this conversation. Listen, if you bad and bold enough and you want to hop up on screen with us too, let me know. Let me know, because we're going to talk, okay? So before I bring him on, I'm going to share with you the clip that is the reason behind this broadcast tonight, okay? So I saw this clip this morning on TikTok. So check this out, y'all.
Talk to the men today. There's nothing more precious than the love of a woman. Man. Zeke, talk for the fellas on the back row, Zeke. Talk to the men on the back row, Zeke.
A man can never reach his fullest potential without a woman. Let me say that again. A man will never reach his fullest potential without a woman.
Come on, Elder. Come on, Elder. Come on.
So let me stop right there. What does that say about Jesus? But before I finish, let me finish playing the rest of this. I'm just going to finish playing the rest of this. So here we go. Because I don't know. I thought Jesus reached his fullest potential, but according to Coach Zeke, Jesus didn't reach his full potential. Let me play it again for y'all.
To the men today, there's nothing more precious than the love of a woman. Man. Zeke, talk for the fellas on the back row, Zeke. Talk to the men on the back row, Zeke.
A man can never reach his fullest potential without a woman. Let me say that again. A man will never reach his fullest potential without a woman.
Come on, Elder. Come on, Elder. Come on, Elder.
Man, she is. Listen, God put something in her on purpose that's not in a man. He put something on purpose, and she has the essence of bringing out all of what we are and could ever be. And we need her. We don't have not we want her. See, we got it twisted. We think we want her for one thing. We want her for sex.
Right.
I'm sorry, brothers. We need her for way much more than that.
Oh, way much more.
Man.
Boy.
Man, so
Zeke, talk to the men.
So let me pull this down now. And let me preface this by saying, I love Dr. Sims because he is open to these conversations. And look, Susie said, don't put that on me. So welcome, y'all. Welcome, Dr. Sims, to tonight's conversation. So let me tell y'all, I was on his broadcast this morning, and I called him when I was getting ready, and I was like, listen, your friend is sexist, right? But we had this conversation about how sexism, along with racism, is rooted in religion. Yeah. And we have to start to have these conversations because they are detrimental to us. So first of all, let me just say this. This is one thing that I do really love and appreciate about you is that we can have these conversations and you're like, okay, well, what about this? And I'll say this and that. And you'll be like, so let me tell y'all what he told me today. He sounded like the pastors of, I told you my old pastors used to say I had too much seasoning. He kind of said the same shit to me today. Let me see what he said. He said,
I sure did. I own it. I sure did.
He said, well, you don't say it nice. You're not very gentle. And I said, well, and I don't have to be, because and this is what I told him, and I meant this, when you have the role, when you have the label and title of pastor,
I agree.
There comes a certain amount of credence that people give the things you say.
Yeah.
And so when I see people in positions like this, hey, Teresa, when I see people in positions that say things that I know are not like, I'm not going to say it nice. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it the way I say it. But here's the thing. I didn't say it mean.
Right.
I didn't say it mean. Right. So when you say I didn't say it nice, maybe you just mean I said it very directly.
Yes, thank you for
I said it very assertively. Yes. So tell them again what you call yourself. What's your long old name? America's number one what?
America's number one personal development expert.
Okay, America's #1 personal development expert. This is pastor and certified life coach, Dr. Walter Sims. So I appreciate you joining in on this conversation. So y'all might have seen the name of this broadcast is "Don't Put That Mess on Jesus."
Oh, I agree. I've told my congregation and a lot of my followers, we have lied on God. We are gonna have to give an account of some of the things we say, like God said you my wife, and then a year later y'all getting a divorce.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, you can't tell me God. Listen, my response to that is, well, God ain't told me yet. Get back with me.
Yeah.
Right? God ain't told me yet, so get back with
Yeah.
me.
Oh, I love the title. I love the title.
Yeah, don't
I'm
put that mess
standing
on
with you
Jesus.
on that one. I'm standing with you on that
So I want to go back and I want to talk about this thing,
one. Okay.
because you and I touched on it briefly today. So, and refresh my memory, because the first time I saw Zeke on your show was
Right.
a few weeks back,
Yeah.
and I was in the comments like,
Yeah, I had to bring her on. I had to bring her on. I
he
had
had
to
to
bring her
bring.
on. Yeah, yeah, sure did. Did I not? Did I not,
Yeah, he
Danny?
gave me the link, and I joined the broadcast. So what it was something again that he was saying about women.
He no, what I think what really riled you up, he basically his coaching is he said he wants to put women up on game, and he coaches the dating game. And maybe the semantics, he might could word it different, but that's his platform, and he's a
Yes.
successful relationship coach. Coach
Yeah.
Zeke Boyer.
So what does that? Okay, I'm not going. Okay, I have a real hard time, because
Okay. Okay.
the things that I have heard him say
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
are sexist.
Okay.
And so when I think about religion and Christianity,
Right.
so for example, I shared this with you this morning. So just in the last week, there was a Nigerian gospel singer by the name of Tracy Said Breathe, Dani. I
I know,
know,
right?
I know. Because and I think this is why. I think this is
Okay.
why.
Okay.
I grew up so neck deep in church.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, I love me some Jesus,
Yeah.
right?
All day. All
Don't
day.
what I don't love is when people misrepresent who Jesus is supposed to be.
Amen. I totally agree. Totally in
And
concert.
I have a real hard time when man's ego gets in the pulpit and then spits out some mess that didn't come from Jesus.
Amen.
Right.
Right.
And so that's why I get so worked up. It's not because I don't like Christianity. It's not because I don't believe in Jesus. It's because I don't appreciate mankind putting they mess on Jesus.
Yeah.
So
We
I,
got some work to do. We definitely got some.
right.
I was talking to a colleague last night, and it's another brother on TikTok, and we were talking last night. I was on his live last night, and we got some work to do. But talk about that Nigerian singer.
Yes. So Osinachi is a Nigerian singer. Like the song that kind of blew her up has like 71 million views on YouTube or something like that. Yeah. And so she died in the last week. And it was reported that she died because of after a battle with throat cancer.
Yeah.
And her sisters came out and said, no. That is not what happened.
Wow.
That her husband had been abusing her for a while, and that he had actually kicked her in her chest. And that's where the blood clusters came from in her chest, and that's how she died. And there were actually screenshots of Black pastors and ministers, men, saying things, because women were like, she should have left him, she shouldn't have stayed, da da da. And there were Black pastors actually saying that it's not about whether or not she should or shouldn't have left. She was in that marriage and that union, and actually saying that, we all have our lot to suffer for Christ. And that was her lot. And I was like, if y'all don't shut that madness up, because there ain't no way that Jesus said you're supposed to get kicked in your damn chest and stay married in order to please me. That is not Jesus. So coming on the heels of that, which I just talked about yesterday.
Right.
I just talked about yesterday. Then I peep your boy over here, and he said a couple things. So I want to talk about a couple of things that he said.
Okay.
Because so the first thing that you said was, and I see, and I know your heart, so I know where you come from. When you said there's nothing more precious than the love of a woman. I know where you come from in that sentiment. But when he says to me, he said a couple things that make the hair on the back of my neck stand up, and is okay. He literally said, that a man cannot reach his full potential without a woman?
Right. I have, without really unpacking that with him, I'm getting to know him, but without fully dissecting that with him, I stand in agreement with that from the perspective that we are better together, you and I, man, woman, because God said it's not good for man to be alone. So a woman, a good woman, is going to help bring out the best in you, and that's with any relationship. You know what I'm saying? And like you said today, business, personal, etc. We supposed to bring out the best in each other.
But
Iron
that's not
sharpens
about
iron.
gender. That's not about gender or sexual identities, right?
Right.
So the bottom line is that different people experience different things and have different perspectives. And so when
True.
we share those with each other,
Right.
then we cause each other to grow. But to
That's right.
say that a man cannot reach his full potential, number one, you are shortchanging yourself. That's
Okay.
number one. Because I don't think that God was like, oh, I'm going to make man and just leave some shit out. And if he don't end up with a woman, he's just like never going to accomplish his purpose in life.
Right.
I think that that's just BS.
Okay.
Number two, to say that a man. So what? Okay, so what about Jesus? Did Jesus not reach his full potential? According to Coach Zeke,
right.
Jesus missed the mark.
Well, I'm sure he was probably answer that and say, but Jesus, parenthetically, not Jesus, because he had a different role when he was here. His role was not to get in a relationship.
Neither
he
is
had a
ours,
different
because
agenda.
neither is ours, because Paul said in 1 Corinthians 7, right? If you are single, stay single. Because the minute that you pair up and get married, then your roles and your obligations, they change. You now have a spouse, you now have a partner that you must consider. So it is not, the role in life is not to get married. The role, our purpose here is not to get a spouse. Not according to the word. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 says, if you are single, remain single. You froze, Dr. Smith, Dr. Sims. Maybe Jesus is saving you right now. I don't know. Come back. So I'll wait for Dr. Sims to get back in here because he appears to be frozen in time. But when he gets back, I'll add him back to the stream. But so okay, so yeah, he left. He'll come back in a second. So this is my thing. This is why I take issue when things like this are said. When we say, oh, but Jesus' role wasn't to get married. Well, neither is anybody else's. That's not my purpose in life. Here he comes.
I'm back.
I know. Did you hear what I said? Maybe Jesus saved you.
So okay, Dani. Okay, so when we talk about the love of a woman, I'm a traditionalist, and I believe in the sanctity of marriage. I believe in having a wife and all that good stuff. Even though I got divorced last year after 28 years, I still believe in marriage.
I'm not. Who said I don't?
Right.
I'm just saying that I do not believe that that's what we're all put here to do, and neither does the Bible, right?
Right.
1 Corinthians chapter 7 says, if you are single, stay single.
That's right. That's what Paul's attitude was, because that you were saying, now that you have a family, and the downfall of a lot of pastors, preachers, and church workers, we sacrifice our families. And Billy Graham admitted that. We sacrifice our families. So let me put that on the parking lot and get back with Zeke and further unpack that statement.
I'll tell you what you can do. You can invite Zeke to come on Thursday night at 8:00, and I'll have you back.
Okay.
I will have both of you here on 8:00. So, because I got no, I have no. Because here's the thing, like to me, so like when you say I'm a traditionalist, I really don't know what that means, because in many cultures and in many other places, traditional is a communal family setting. Traditional.
I had that conversation today with somebody.
So like when you say traditional, you mean colonial. You mean a colonized perspective on what relationship.
Because again, I'm the son of a Baptist preacher. My daddy pastored our home church for 47 years before he died 8 years ago. So
Right.
I was brought up in a Baptist church, so
And
a
so was
lot of
I. So was
a
I.
lot of my but I've been studying and revisiting some things, and so like you were saying earlier, and I thank you for that compliment. I'm definitely listening because we talked about it earlier today. 8 years ago, 2015 was a very hard year for me, and I said, Lord, I want to be a wise person, and part of that is being a good listener. And a lot of my clients said, Dr. Sim, you listen. I said, well, I don't know everything, and so
Right.
I love having our very what's the word you used earlier? Our very intense conversations. We have a very yeah,
I'm a
I'm
very
telling you, Danny, I really enjoy talking with you.
I'm a very passionate person about things.
Yes, you are.
So
Yes, you are.
the other thing that he said in this is he said God put something in women that's just not in men.
Right, right.
And I think that's BS.
Okay. Now I agree with him on that because, and we talked about this earlier. Now where I'm coming from, and
Do y'all
we
see how
went back
he's
and
doing
forth.
this?
Yeah, but I guess we have been taught this more than anything else. Men don't show their emotions, and we're going to talk about this on the
But
book
is that
study.
because God didn't give you emotions?
No, it is not.
Okay,
No,
so
it is
tell me,
not.
I need you to tell me what God gave women that he did not give men. I need for you to name one thing that God gave to women that he did not give to men.
He gave women just, and again, and we talked about this earlier, so I'm kind of like knowing the answer going forward. But I would say now, I said this morning, you guys are more emotional than we are. Men are not emotional. We're not emotional. And
That is
like you
that
said,
is so
God,
not true.
but God gave y'all another gift He didn't give us. Y'all are
Which
more
is what?
nurturing than a man. Y'all more nurturing than a man.
You think women are more nurturing than men?
Uh, yes, I do.
No. So that is sexist to say because that's not true. Men are absolutely nurturing.
I know. I told you this morning. I watched The Notebook and cried.
Right. So I'm asking you again, name one thing that God gave women that he did not give men.
That's a great question. That's a great
Well,
question.
because
And
I'm asking you the question because he said it and you agreed.
yeah,
So if you agree,
but okay. But when I agreed, my answer was you
but yeah,
guys
but
are
the answer that
more
you
okay.
but that's not what I
Okay.
said. Here's let me frame it a different way.
Okay.
Okay. You
Okay.
said you guys are more emotional.
Right.
That is not something that we were given that
Okay.
men don't have.
Right.
What we all have emotions, right?
That's
But
right.
we live in a society that teaches men to not express theirs.
That's
And
true.
by the way, that teaches women when they're due, they're either crazy or hysterical. Why do you think that we had hysterectomies that were performed on us? Why do you think we had, like, if you look back at history, women have not always been taught that it's okay for us to
Right.
express these emotions and to be emotional beings. No, we were persecuted for our emotions,
Yeah.
right?
You're right.
Women
You're
are
right.
only allowed to be emotional in a way that benefits and is okay with men.
Yeah.
And when it's not okay with men, we're witches or we're hysterical or we're whatever, right? But when it keeps us docile and quiet and at the house, then we're cool. It's good. Be that kind of emotional, right? Um, Right, Manda. That's exactly what we're saying. It's because that's what society teaches us, and society ascribes as gender roles. And we had this exact same conversation because
Now, and to your point, the Bible does say to your point. So we stand corrected. I stand corrected. And like I said, I talked to Coach Z. I stand corrected. And even the Bible says there's no gender. There's no male or female in God. You know what I'm saying?
that's
And so
exactly right.
to your point, you're correct. You're correct.
So, and the other thing about this is when we talk about these things, we have to make sure that we aren't repeating things just because they sound good or because it's what we've been taught for the last 47 years or 87 years or whatever, because
That's good.
they appeal to what we've always known, but they are not serving us. So I
Yeah.
said this earlier today, and I mean this with every fiber of my being. The experiments we have been doing, the systems we have created, the gender definitions, the societal definitions,
Yeah.
it's not working, people. If it
That's a
were
good point.
working, we would not have a 50-something% divorce rate. If it were working, we wouldn't have everybody on damn dating apps and nobody finding soulmates. If it were working, you wouldn't
Come
have,
on.
we're going to talk about your friend Kevin Samuels in a minute. We
Yeah.
wouldn't have a man supposedly giving dating advice
Right.
by tearing down women for public display. Like
Right.
we wouldn't have those things.
Right.
So it's not
Well, and now we're going to get to Kevin Samuels, and my attitude is I like Kevin Samuels, and I don't think he's
and my question to you is how?
okay. I'm not
I don't
I'm
get it.
not a Kevin Samuel apologist or anything, but if you listen to him, all he's saying to women is he's not tearing them down. The same way you categorize men is that women couldn't be categorized as well. And for the man you say you want, what is it that you're going to offer him that you haven't given to another man? You know what I'm saying? And it's sort of like he looks at it sort of like, and he's just saying a car. If you want a certain car, but your budget is less than that car's worth, you cannot afford that car. So he's not trying to devalue or depreciate a woman. He's just saying you have to look at your options. You know what I'm saying? And so I listen from a different perspective. But anyway, I listen to Kevin Samuels, and so
I
I
know
have
you do. We're gonna get to him in a minute. Because the first
okay.
because I will tell you the first time I heard you say that, it surprised me because when I watch Kevin Samuels,
Right.
everything in my spirit says fuck no.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
everything in my body says
Okay.
absolutely the fuck no. And
Okay.
the reason why is
Okay.
it's the way that he goes about things. He is not edifying anyone.
Okay.
He belittles the women that he talks to, right? He does. There's a way to say something to
That's right.
someone that
That's
does
right.
not expose them, that does
Right.
not
And see,
assassinate.
my delivery, I'm diametrically opposed to his delivery. I'm totally different. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
but so this is
But so why do so many people? So why does he have such a large following then?
that's a great question. As so why do you think that is?
Again, and I guess it's to your point. He's controversial.
People love controversy, but I also believe that there's a great number of men who love to see women mistreated.
Really? Okay. Well, okay. I can give you that.
We have always had a patriarchal society,
Okay.
always.
Okay.
And so I think that there's something that we have to really admit. So for you to say I'm diametrically opposed to his delivery,
Right.
but still say I watch and listen to him,
Well,
right?
because and I don't know, and I guess if you kind of brute force things, you get results, but he brags about the results that he's getting. And there are people, a cluster of people that are listening to his advice and they're doing better. But I'll re-listen to him
So
and I'll re-listen to him. I'll
so
re-listen to
here's
it.
the thing.
Because see, I don't what you just said,
Hmm.
he degrades women or he is part of that whole old system. I'm gonna re-listen to it from that perspective because see, I love women. I cherish women. You know how I treat you. So and
I
I
know.
love my mama. I treat no woman can tell you, and like when I had my divorce and I told my congregation, nobody's gonna walk through those church doors and say, Dr. Sims is my daddy outside of Jonathan and Jordan. I don't
Right.
mistreat women. I don't beat women. I don't look down on women. I
Right.
value women, etc. But what I'm saying is, I'll relook at it from that perspective because I just didn't look at it from that lens that he's for abusive relationships and abusing and
It's the
downgrading
way that he
women.
talks to them. He puts
Okay,
them down,
okay,
right? And so if I put my coach hat on
okay.
and you put your coach hat on, do I ever need to shame, guilt, or humiliate my client to
I
help them?
okay, to that point, when they call his show, and that's what he said. He said, y'all are calling my show. He's not coaching them during his shows. So he's not
Oh,
in that.
so listen, I'm gonna take my coach hat off and publicly for show, I'm gonna treat you like shit. For show, I'm gonna humiliate and embarrass you
Okay.
because right now I ain't trying to coach you. listen.
Because
That is not
that's what he
person.
said. That's what he says.
And I would expect him to, because mistreating women is making him fucking rich.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't look at it from that perspective. Okay.
Mistreating women publicly for his show is making him rich. Because
Okay.
listen, if your desire is to help women, if your desire, right? I don't have one personality for my show and one personality for my coaching. I don't have one set of and he froze again. No, you didn't. Okay, good. You blinked. I thought Jesus gave you a pass.
well, Danny, again, to that point, his perspective is he's standing away from the crowd and not feeding the status quo. He feels like he's going against the grain. But I'll take that assignment. I'm gonna re-listen to him
Yeah,
and
well,
I'm gonna reevaluate him. Thank you, Coach.
yeah, I just like when I sit with him, there's
Okay.
there's nothing about him that feels. I do not watch his show and think Jesus would co-sign.
I understand. And again, he says, I love Jesus. I love the Lord. I'm
Well,
brought up in the church.
so did Donald Trump holding an upside down Bible in
I
front of
know.
the damn church.
Amen.
So
Okay.
like that's my thing, right? So when I look at those things, like those things are important. I don't want to stay on and
No, you fine. You fine.
I know you feel like you're in the hot seat a little bit,
No,
but it's because
look. If this is gonna help somebody, come on.
because for me, it's
No, I know what in timeout, and I know you're doing it from like you said, we know each other, so it's all
yes.
good. It's all good.
So like, and Manda has a great, just because someone is
That's
getting
a good
results,
point.
right?
That's a good
Doesn't
point.
mean you're sharing truth, right? So this was the other thing. Great point, Manda,
That's
because
a good point.
my thing is we're so focused on results, right? But
Right.
here's the thing. There are people out there making millions of dollars. They're quote unquote getting results, but they're doing it off the backs of poor people. There are
That's
people
true.
out there getting results, but they're doing it at the expense of human lives. There are people that are getting results, right?
That's true.
And
That's
so
true.
my point is just because you have some people that are following a certain system and it helps them like find someone, does that is that really a result? Because I'm just saying, and who is he to determine what a woman's value is? Like who are you?
That again, I know you
I
don't
will
watch
tell
the
you this.
show. I know you don't watch the
Tell
show.
Matt Damon's wife that, because he married a damn regular old everyday waitress. Like Matt Damon's wife ain't nobody.
Right.
She wasn't nobody. She didn't have nothing else in her bank account, right?
Yeah.
So this idea that somehow it has to be something else doesn't work for me.
I understand.
So I want to play this next clip.
Okay.
From your last little segment with Zeke.
Okay.
And I want to be clear. We're talking about two different people. Kevin Samuels is one person, and then Coach and Pastor Zeke is somebody that you've had on your show. He's a relationship coach, and this is the thing that always gets me about relationship coaches.
Right.
To me, the best thing that I can do for you, to get into a healthy, whole relationship is to coach you on you. True. This idea, like, I think what really got me was he said he teaches women how to play the game. And I was like, well, where's that?
That's what got you. That's what got you.
He said he teaches women how to play the game. And I said, well, where's that in the Bible? Where did Jesus say I need to learn how to play the dating game? Like, where is that? Somebody show me where God said that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Because my understanding is, right, is that I'm not supposed to be in this game. I'm not supposed to be, I'm in this world, but I'm not of this world, right? That's what I thought I was supposed to be. So that was the first thing that really got me.
Yeah, that got you. That got you.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm sorry, Pastor, you're teaching people to do what?
Right, that got you. That got you.
But I want to talk about this next segment because even Cam Newton right now is coming under fire for some comments
I saw it.
We're gonna talk. Listen, and Cam's ass can't talk to me about
how many babies he got. How many babies Cam got?
I don't know. I don't even care. He can be like Nick if you want to, and spread that seed from here till whenever. I don't care. What I do care about is this, when he said women don't know how to be quiet and let a man meet. First of all, nigga, I ain't got to be quiet for nobody, right? And I don't have to let you lead. When a man knows how to lead, he will naturally lead. I don't got to let him do nothing, right? If a man
That's
knows
right.
how. So
Right.
if you got a woman who ain't being quiet and you ain't leading, it ain't because she ain't letting you. It's because you obviously don't know how.
Wow.
But let me,
Wow.
but before I go right down that road, because we're gonna talk about this,
Okay.
I want to play this other clip from this last thing, and then Kevin, I'm gonna get to your question in a second. Here we
Okay.
go.
Okay.
So what do you think about Steve Harvey's 90-day rule?
I'm not a 90-day rule. I'm just being honest with you. And Doc, you know as well as I do, my heart says, hey, keep your stuff till you get married.
Okay.
That's my thing. However, we ain't living in that day where that's going to be adhered to, so to speak.
Right.
So my thing is this: once you earn it, once a person has earned it, and you feel as though, based on your standards, based on your boundaries,
that's
the person
good.
has earned your attention, and that's the key thing about that for a man. Anything we earn, we keep.
Let me just look. Anytime he says for a man, I already know I'm about to get angry. But here we go. Let me finish.
Something else.
I'm telling the damn truth. Hold on. Here we go.
That's a good word.
That's a baseline.
That's good.
No matter what man it is, no matter in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, even onto the future. That's our mental makeup. It's in our DNA. If we earn it, we keep it. And that's the key. If you make somebody earn it based on your standards, then, it can be.
Ooh, that's good.
30 days, 90 days, 120 days, it's really up to the individual.
And this one.
So we're going to talk about this whole, if
Okay.
you earn it, you keep it. Number one, I'm not something you own. You don't get to keep something that I freely gave you.
Okay.
Just because I gave it to you don't mean it's yours.
Okay.
Whether that's my vagina, my heart, or anything else.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
If
Yes,
I gave it to you, that shit still belongs to me. And I can take it back anytime that I choose, whenever I choose. And you do not own it. It does not like, think of it like this. You are on a payment plan. You are leasing it.
That's
right. At any time, you are not making the appropriate payments. Right. Then I can take my shit back. Right. This is not
we are managers. We are just managers. Okay. You're right, Dani.
And so look, Amanda said, do men have to earn a woman's attention? Exactly. So like this, when I hear him say things, it is such a sexist attitude in which he says the things he says.
Okay.
And I said it in the comments. I said it.
Sure did.
I said
it's on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything to y'all that I have not said in front of Zeke, and that I won't say to Zeke if he sits down here on Thursday night.
And you've said it to Dr. Sam,
and I sure have. And I have said, your friend is sexist. And because he goes on to talk about submission, and I thought I caught that comment.
Okay.
And maybe I didn't download it.
Right.
Oh yeah, because this time this was something that you said.
Okay.
Y'all were talking about submission.
Okay.
I'll let you share with the people the conversation that you all were having around submission.
Well, submission in the sense that it's support. He was saying, and
I heard him give the Hebrew definition, like he's.
Well, I'm sharing it for the audience. That's what he said. It's a support system. Y'all are our support system, because the Hebrew word in Genesis, when God created man, he said man needs a help meet that's suitable for him. Man needs a help. Man needs support. We are better together. And submissiveness is I'm coming in union with you, and I'm submitting to your headship and your leadership of the family. You lead, like you said a minute ago. If a man knows how to lead, he just naturally leads, and his family, his wife, will be submissive to that. Teamwork makes your dream work, and however y'all flesh that out, that's up to you. But if that's sexist, okay, I believe I'm supposed to lead my family. I believe if you and I were in the apartment and we were Netflixing and chilling, somebody breaks in, I am gonna jump up and say, "What the hell are you doing here?" I
And
don't
so,
expect you to do that.
well, but here's the thing. If
Okay.
I'm an expert shot, which I am, by the way,
Okay.
I might need your ass to get out my way so I have the proper lane of fire, right?
Okay.
So there,
But again, we would work that out in our dynamic. But
so
I'm just saying my frame of mind. If you
right.
were not a great shot, if something else popped off, I'm gonna take the lead to take care of it. That's my ideology. Now,
And I hear you.
that's sexist. I love taking care of my woman and my family. And please give me latitude using mine, not mine, but we're in relationships.
I know, and I hear what you're saying, right? And I think that all of us want a
Okay.
partner. I think that all of us want a partner that makes us feel safe.
Yes, ma'am.
All of us want a partner that would protect us and want to defend us and all of that.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that it is also important to understand that those things go both ways.
Of
So,
course, of
so,
course.
so a lot of times, what I hear people using um, so for example, I'm paying attention to like the way that you say woman. You're intentionally say it woman as in womb, right? And I hear you saying it that way. And here's what I would say. This is the way. So I said this to you earlier, and I'm gonna say it to you right now. Um, I am very aware because even and this is what tickled me about this, even in his conversation with you earlier today, he said on this broadcast, he
Right,
said, well,
right.
he said the Bible was translated to the best of our knowledge at that time when he's talking about like the definite, and it was not to a woman's advantage and things like that, right? So
Mhm.
that stuck out to me because people
Right.
always talk about the word of God as infallible, but when it suits you, you'll talk about how it's translated. So
Okay.
I just want to be clear.
Okay.
The Bible literally says that in Christ there's no male and female,
That's
right?
right.
We
That's right.
oftentimes refer to God as the potter and us being the clay, right? And so when we talk about that, like if we use the clay and we make a vase,
Right.
it's still made of the same clay. There's
Right.
nothing missing from that clay when that
Okay.
clay is in the shape of a vase, when
Right.
that clay is in the shape of a spoon. So like I'm a Taurian, I'm a Taurus, so food is important to me. So when I think about it like this, I think about it like God is the baker, right?
Right.
And we are all bread.
Right.
And so just as easily as the Bible describes it as Adam and Eve or male and female, right?
Right.
It
Right.
could have just as easily said biscuits or toast. It could have just as easily said pizza crust, right? Or
Oh, and
crackers,
I tell you,
right?
I look like Pillsbury the Doughboy.
But I'm just saying, like bread can show up in many different
Okay.
forms,
I hear you loud and
right?
clear. I hear you loud and clear.
But the ingredients are still the same. And so I think that, we have
That's
to,
a good analogy. That's a good
I mean,
analogy.
seriously, right? So, like, it shows up in different forms, and who cares what form it's in? Who cares? I don't. And I will tell you this: some women sometimes get hurt by that when
Yes,
you
ma'am.
say woman, because not every woman can conceive. Not every woman has working parts. Not every woman has the parts that you refer to. And when people within Christianity hold on so tight to, well, if she has a womb, that makes her a woman, right? And the number of women, the millions of women who cannot give birth
Wow.
naturally, it is offensive to them because
Okay.
it makes it seem like there's something wrong with us, like there's something missing, there's something broken.
Wow.
And so again, this is paying attention to the things that we say.
I love that. And you know me. The last thing I want to do is offend anybody. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes, I
so
know.
part of my work and what I do, I don't want to be offensive. And I just had a learning moment. I just learned something. And
But
again, the way I say that is part of my Alabama drawl.
maybe so. But I have
What was her last comment? What was her comment?
Jessica. She was saying she has to give you credit for the whole like jumping up and defending. She was like, because her husband's like a foot taller than her and all that, right? She said, on business level, sometimes I lead and other things like violence, he protect me.
Okay.
And so I think that like that's what we're talking about, this give and take, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Um, I think the most important thing, it's not about whether or not he will protect me against violence. It's about understanding that first of all, this is my opinion about submission. I believe that submission happens naturally when there's trust.
Well said.
When
Well
I
said.
when I trust you, and it doesn't matter if you're my husband or my male partner, or
Okay.
if you're my lawyer or you're my accountant
Oh,
or you're
that's
my
good. That's
barber or
good.
you're
That's
like
good. That's
like
good.
in order for me to sit in the daggone chair at the hair salon, I am submitting to you to
That's
cut
right.
my hair, right? So, in order for me to submit, regardless of what role you play, there has to be a level of trust.
Amen.
And
Amen.
before there can be a level of trust, there has to be respect.
That's
So
right.
if a woman is not submitting to you, if then there is something that is not there for her to trust you to lead. There's something in there that doesn't trust. She is not safe with you. She is not protected with you. She is not. And let me just tell you this: when you got four babies by five different mamas, however the fuck that works, then maybe that's why she ain't being quiet and tending to your needs, because she don't trust you to lead.
To
Right?
that point, another colleague friend of mine, and Danny, this was, I know, 4 or 5 years ago, and she was going through some things, and she's like you. She's just, I mean, all kind of degrees and everything, and she's a coach and all that good stuff. And she was going through a challenging time in her life. And every Sunday between services, we had an hour on the phone. And one session, she told me, to your point, she said, Dr. Sims, thank you for providing a safe place for me. And this is what I want to do with the Blue Table, for men to have a safe place to just talk, you know.
Right.
But you just hit the nail on the head, because when I teach submission, that's what I teach, is that it's all about trust, it's about respect, and it's about love. And men, if we are not doing that, then nobody's gonna
Right.
submit to
So,
you,
so
you know.
and the key part of that is when you look at the scriptures that are together right there, when the
Right.
Bible talks about a woman submitting to her husband, it's followed right by men love your wife as Christ loved the church.
And gave
So,
himself for it.
right. So if the man isn't, yeah, Amanda, that's my point. I believe that submission is a two-way street, and I believe the most perfect
To men,
example.
oh yeah.
I think the most
Hello,
perfect
yes,
example of that
yes, yeah,
is in, like, in the washing of feet in the Bible. That's
yeah,
the most. If you've never done that, I think that, yeah. So, like, true submission to me is a two-way street.
it is.
So for me, there has to be trust and respect on both sides of any relationship,
That's right.
male or female, female and female, male and male, DDS. It is like non-gender, whatever
That's
you
right.
identify
That's right.
as, right?
That's right.
In any relationship, there has to be a mutual submission that takes place.
Yeah,
Um,
and to Manda, excuse me, to Manda's point, when you speak to your husband, when you're speaking life to your husband, and for instance, you say, well, baby, I need you to go ahead and make sure something is done. When that man listens to you, because he knows you're saying that for a reason, and you've been together a while, so all that pre stuff is done. And when he listens to you, he's submitting to your understanding and your intuition, and you're not a wise man. A wise man is going to listen to his helpmate, his wife, his friend, whatever relationship y'all have. So to answer your question, oh yes, yes, it's a two-way street. Yes,
I was
ma'am.
thinking about this today, right? Because people will say, well, God made Eve because it wasn't good for man to be alone. But my thing is this, right? If I'm
Okay,
God
okay,
and I can make
okay,
anything, right? And
okay,
I'm making
okay.
things in my image, because it
Yeah,
says we're all made in his image,
that's
right?
right. That's right.
So if that's the case, right? And I've already made Adam,
Um,
I ain't gonna make the same thing again. Let me show
okay.
you another part of me, and I'm gonna make Eve, right? Let me show you another part of me, and I'm gonna make the trees, and let me show you another part of me, and I'm gonna make the birds that sing. Like, to me, everything that we see is a reflection of a part of God,
Yeah.
right? For me. And so I don't get caught up into, and I used to, right?
Right. Right.
I used to be, so for those of y'all who don't know, I used to be neck deep in Christianity, I would quote to you, God made Adam and Steve, not Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. I would like the whole, all of it. That used to be me.
Yeah.
Then I went on this very painstaking, very scary journey of questioning why I believed the things I believed and what did I really believe.
Amen.
And when I did that, there were things that I had been taught in the church that simply did not resonate with me. There were things that I had been taught. Right. So listen what she said. Yes, that's not the way submission is taught.
True.
Right.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah.
So your view of marriage and submission isn't the dominant view of that dynamic. Exactly. And so that's my whole point, Mandy, is that this is the whole reason for this broadcast, is why I said don't put that mess on Jesus.
Don't put that on Jesus. That's right.
Because people take, and so when we think about Christianity, there are many, many churches where women can't be pastors, women can't be preachers, women can't be bishops, right? Women can't be whatever. The church has predominantly been a patriarchal, sexist organization. And so when you have the opportunity to teach these scriptures, men talk them to their advantage.
Right? Well, and to my credit, I've ordained 3 women as preachers, and I have 2 women ministers that's with me at my church right now. So I think I'm a very what's a good word? Very
he's open. He's open. Yeah, you're open. But what we're saying is like the institution as a whole, right?
Yeah. I agree.
And so like that's part of the issue. So that's why when I see things, and I think that's one of the reasons why I so freely will call you on things, because A, I know you're open, right? And B, I keep saying this. When we see things that are not okay, it is more powerful when it is corrected by those who are like us. So for example, it is, when I keep saying it is more effective for white people to address other white people about racism, it's because you're more likely to hear it. When I say it's more that heterosexual people need to round up other heterosexual people who are transphobic and homophobic, right? When I say like that, it's the same way here.
Right.
As a male pastor in a Christian church, you have the ability to speak into a space when you're hearing and listening to other men. And instead of co-signing it, stop for a second and say, hey, bruh, I know we've been teaching this like this for a minute, but nah, God did not give women anything that he did not give me. I don't think he plays favorites like that. There's nothing missing from me. There's nothing broken from me. So this is the way that I explained it. I think I was talking to you earlier. But this is the way that I see it. I believe that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. That's what I believe. I believe that everything we need or desire for our human experience is available to us and given to us in the spiritual realm. If we do not have it and have not manifested it in this human experience, it's because we haven't accessed it. Whether that's because society has told us we shouldn't, whether it's because society has told us that's not for us, whether it's just whatever that is, maybe it's because we believe we don't deserve it, whatever that is, right? We simply haven't accessed it. There is nothing.
Come on.
I wish someone would tell me that that God gave something special to a man that he didn't give to me. Listen, I'm gonna need you to have several seeds. There is nothing God has given someone. It's like, seriously. Now you might be able to sing better than me. You might be able to like play some guitar or some shit like that. But that is not based on.
I did a TikTok to that. I said, "Oh, what did God know not to give you?" I said, "If God gave me a voice, come on, somebody."
Listen, you know what one of my friends said? She said, God knew not to give her abs like mine because she'd be running around naked all the time. She said, "Girl, God knew better than to make me a size 6 or a size 8. Hell, I wouldn't keep my clothes on for nothing." But the whole thing of it is, so like the thing that I hear when I hear these things that are being said, submission is something that comes just from trust, and
That's
trust
right.
comes from respect.
Amen.
And
Amen. I
that,
totally agree. I totally agree
yeah,
with that.
listen, I don't submit to like, but like two people cutting my hair, like for real. I can't do it. I don't trust you. I don't know you.
I don't know you. That
I
I
don't
mean,
know you.
hello, hello,
I
and
don't know you.
you see that so innocently in children. You
Hmm.
know, they do not go to anybody they don't know, they don't trust,
They
and
get
they
a
don't
check.
feel.
That's
Yeah,
that internal guidance that we talk about all the time.
exactly,
That's
exactly.
that divine wisdom that we all
Yeah,
have.
yeah,
And so,
yeah.
but this is my thing. So, like, what I would love to know, and I'm putting you on the spot a little bit
Okay,
though,
that's fine.
is so we talk so much about divine wisdom and being guided by the spirit. And I think that that's one of the things that I go, okay, so wait a minute. How does that not show up for you when you hear the stuff that Zeke says or the stuff that Kevin said? Like, what is it in your manness? What is it in your human experience as a man that overrides that internal check and doesn't hear what's being said? You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And I don't know if that's the conditioning. I don't know if that's the
You
environment.
know, again, okay, since the shows are so brief,
Mhm.
we don't have a lot of time to unpack. So a lot of times it's I know what you are trying to say, and I'm gonna lean in on conditioning. I know what he's trying to say. I know it's sort of like the submission piece. That's the way I teach it: trust and respect and love. But he said it another way. So my attitude is I'm not in that frame of mind to try to check me or anything. I'm just hearing his perspective. So my show is not a debate per se. That's his perspective. That's his program. That's his teaching. And but I'm to your point, if I hear something that doesn't resonate with me or I want to challenge it, I'll chime up. But that's not necessarily my position or my perspective at that time. You see what I'm saying? My guests come on my show, they are talking from their perspective.
Right, but here's the thing. So let's
Okay.
talk about that though,
Okay.
because when you're into me, when you are given a platform like that,
Okay. Okay.
and people are sharing from their perspectives, right? I think that in that moment, that is the time to check them, especially because you be in full what I call black pastor mode. You get into full black pastor mode
Yeah.
where you like, that's it, that's right, that's a good word right there. Yep, that's good. Like you get in black,
That's right. Yeah.
like y'all, that's what I call black pastor mode.
Yeah.
And
Guilty. Guilty.
but here's my thing. So like, because like
Okay.
it's when he was talking at one point in time, you said, "Oh, that's good right there." It wasn't good. It was bullshit. It was not Jesus. Like it was not good. And so when I hear that, I go, "Well, hold on," because in that moment, like I don't know if it's something because it aligns with your more male ideology of
Right.
things.
Right.
Um, or what happens, but there's something that doesn't quite click in that moment. And so like
I
for me,
understand. I got you. I
I
got
can
you.
hear his perspective all day. You notice when you brought me on the other day,
Right.
you notice he shut up, right?
Yeah.
He got real quiet. He was like, I don't have any argument to make.
Right.
Right. No, you don't, sir. Because here's the thing. You can, and that to me is a sign, right? If you can't have a healthy exchange, if you can't have a dialogue, if your
Right.
response is I ain't got nothing to say, okay, well then maybe you
And
should have
I hope I'm coming across as having, the ability to dialogue with you because I'm telling you, I took some notes tonight
I know I
and
saw you.
and I'm like I shared with you and I shared with my fellowship, again, 8 years ago, I said, look, I want to be a wise person. I want to know things that I don't know, because people are coming to me and people do value what I say, and that's why I'm deliberate about what I say, what I promote, and etc. So I'll have a little bit more ownership if when we're dialoguing with people come on my show and they say something left. I'm like, wait a minute, now hold on,
Yeah.
So I'll take that. What was her comment?
Wendy said, and we women need you men to push back on those problematic perspectives.
Okay,
Yeah, the same way. And this is like, so for me, I'm all about trying on the lenses of other people and inserting lenses in terms of how we see things. And I think that that's really, really important, especially because when we talk about faith,
right.
faith is a core value,
That's
and core
exactly.
values drive everything in our lives,
That's very
everything.
true.
And so when I look at Christianity, I can identify clearly where sexism and racism have been rooted and ingrained in the way that it's been taught,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And so my challenge to you would be the same way you can identify where racism has been ingrained in Christianity is the same way you have to look for the sexism that's ingrained in it,
Okay, I received
right?
that. I received
Because
that.
and this is always the challenge, is being able to view it from other people's perspectives.
I received that. I
Um,
received that.
do you know
Yeah.
how I like the eye opener for me was I saw maybe it was around Mother's Day. And I have several women Facebook friends who yeah, Susie, he really does. She said, I've not watched Dr. Sims, but I will try to catch a show. She appreciates seeing what is your true desire to hear what is being said. I told
Thank
you,
you, Susan.
this is what he's like. And so this
Yeah.
is why we have these conversations all the time. He'll call me up and say, what do you think about such and such? And y'all know me, I have a lot of opinions about such and such. So
That's
let me
right.
just tell
That's
you what
right.
I think. But those things they've developed over time. And so it was around Mother's Day, and I saw several of my female Facebook friends who can't have children, who were saying how hurtful sometimes that that holiday is for them, and the way that people are perceived, or when people say having a womb or being able to naturally give birth is what makes you a mother, or having children, because some of the best mothers are aunties, right?
True.
And so that's when that whole womb thing, when somebody said,
Wow.
when
Wow.
people were talking about, even when the whole Leah Thomas thing came up, and people were like, "Oh, well, if you have a womb, you're a woman. If you can't have babies, you're not a woman." And I said, "Well, tell that to the millions of women who
Wow.
cannot have babies, and how
Wow.
how harmful those statements can be." And yeah, so this is like the heart of what I desire to do in life. What I
And you know what I'm also learning is how insensitive people are.
Mhm.
And I lump myself in that category. And this is why I work so hard to listen, because we are so cruel. Like, one of my clients just yesterday made a statement about something her mother said, and she's working on moving out and all that good stuff. And I said, and her mother is one of those categories I talked about Sunday, righteous and good. There are so many righteous people that are so vicious with what they say, and it hurts you to your core when they do that, and they think they are so right. Well, it just came up in my spirit, I just had to say it. Well, no, that's
No,
not right.
no.
So I what you just said, I think I just had an aha moment. You said, just as deliberate, hey Bella, just as deliberate as we are about racism in the scriptures and how that has been crafted to keep black people docile, etc. I got to look at it in from the lens of being sexist as well.
Yeah, got to try it
Okay.
on and how it fits for us. And
Okay.
and I think that, again, I think that one of the benefits for me is being biracial, being a female, being all of those things. It allows me to see things from a lot of different
I
perspectives.
like that, and that's why. And when I call you, when I message you, when I text you, I guess I'm being very receptive because I love gleaning from you. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I got my deck right here. I got me a T-shirt on the way because you're a very wise woman, and so I really admire you and love you and I respect you.
But you asked me earlier today. You asked me about the TikTok. Yes, baby. Okay, let Dominic help you because I don't know how. Girl, I don't know nothing about Minecraft. I can Roblox.
I don't know mine. That's
Minecraft.
one thing I don't play. I play Madden, but I don't know about Minecraft.
Okay, so here's the thing. So I did very quickly before we wrap up. I did a little video yesterday, and you oftentimes hear people say, "You get from me what you give to me."
Right.
And I did a quick little video yesterday. It was like a minute long, and I was like, "Listen, that is not setting boundaries. That is not self-care. That is not you. That's not what that is.
Right.
When we say you get from me what you give to me, it actually shows you're okay. Please try to help her, Bubby. It's not. It's more you saying, okay, well, I'm going to let you determine how I show up in this world because I
Right.
don't want to do my own work. I don't want to be responsible for my own emotions and my response. Give me 1 second, please. I'm almost done. And you asked me, you said, well, when did you have that epiphany? And I was like, listen, I used to be crazy. Like I used to be straight, but I remember saying those types of things. And the key for me was when in 2013, when I really got to this place where I was tired of being hurt. I was tired of quote unquote loving the wrong people, which that wasn't really the problem. The problem was I needed to figure out what was making me choose those people to love,
Okay.
what was making me love the way that I was loving, right? I had to learn the difference between love and attachment. I had to learn the difference between emotional intelligence and emotional trauma. All of those things. But a lot of people don't want to do the work. We would rather point the fingers at everyone else than to
Amen.
focus on what we've got going on, right? And so for me, these conversations matter because what they do is it introduces to you a new perspective, a different lens, a way to see things. Like I have friends, I literally can think I have friends that are straight, cis, gay, trans, like non-binary, asexual, like you name it.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm so grateful for the people in my life that have such various ways of being in this world because it is teaching me. It is requiring me to try on new perspectives.
Amen.
It is challenging me to push the boundaries of the norms that I've been taught. And so my measuring stick for all things is it coming from love?
Right.
And if I can look at a thing and it is coming from love and not fear,
Right.
then I have to know that it's godly because
That's right. Okay. I'm
right,
with you.
because God is love and love is God, no matter what religion you call it.
That's right.
Something weird just happened with me, and my whole balance just went off, and something just happened in my ear. My eyes look okay, right? Okay.
Yes.
Like I had a thing happen years and years ago where my whole equilibrium went off, and
You
okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm fine. We'll see in a minute. Hell, I ain't dying, I don't guess, but you know, sometimes
I'm
stuff
still
happens.
here. I'm still here. We still here. Okay.
Okay.
Y'all right?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Okay.
We'll see. Hopefully I'll get up and everything will be
Yes, ma'am.
stable. But anyway,
Okay.
okay. So I appreciate y'all for hanging on longer than we did.
Amen.
I I'm going to say it once again that the space that you hold, I think is awesome and amazing and great. And so, like your willingness to listen, to try on different lenses. Yeah, Jessica said, "Don't scare me, girl."
Oof,
Um,
I know. I have to hop in the car. I'll be there in 4 hours.
yeah, it's like literally, I've had different things happen, and they never can pinpoint it, and so
Yes, ma'am.
I just need to get quiet for a little bit and kind of figure out what that is. But
Okay.
um, believe it or not, sometimes I and this will sound real woo woo-y for some of y'all that are watching. So next thing you know, y'all be like, that damn Dani's a witch. But um, sometimes I pick up on things physically that aren't mine. Like
Understand.
I literally have called my mom and said, hey, have you talked to my uncle so and so, or whatever. But no, something is in my
I
ear.
feel you. I feel you. I feel you
Yeah,
on that.
but I get that sometimes.
Okay.
And so like my friend Lester, I can pick up on him like that. The other day, my chest felt like an anvil, and so I hit him up and I was like, hey, I'm having a lot of chest pain. Is this you? And he was like, yeah, I can't breathe. He has sarcoidosis. And
Wow.
so immediately I knew it was him. And so
I'm with you. I hear you.
I stopped and did a little session and whatever. But anyway,
Okay.
that's something for another day. So check
Yes,
out
ma'am.
it with Zeke. See if he would like to
Okay.
come
Thursday
on
night.
Thursday. Look, tell him to take his vitamins. Tell him take his vitamins. I appreciate you all. Yeah, and we can talk about this another day. Maybe this happened
Okay.
so that we open the door to this because I don't talk about these things a lot.
What?
Um,
I'm honored. I'm honored to be here tonight.
I don't talk about because there's so much judgment that
Yeah.
comes with because you get the whole, well, who are you to think you have gifts, right? And it's not who do I am to think I have them. It's that I have them and I don't know what to do with them.
Right. Right.
And they
I feel you.
show up. And so like,
Hey, you have a lot of gifts. I saw one of your
oh Lord.
Insta stories, and your babies were with you, and you had a canvas,
I
and
was drawn.
you were
Yeah.
like, and I'm like, you were
Oh,
like,
that's a perfect segue. Okay, Teresa, that's a perfect segue. So listen, if you all do want to like support me, you can check out my Etsy store, which is Intrinsic Connections. I do sell my Connect deck there, which is like a 44 daily guidance, mindfulness, and meditation deck. I also have, oh, look, he got his deck with him right there. Teresa's got a deck too. That's my decks. And for those of y'all who don't know, art is really good for me because I'm also a disabled veteran and I deal with other things. But so like, I'll show you a couple of pieces real quick.
okay,
So like, these are some of my black and whites that are my favorites. So this is this elephant that is.
oh,
that is
that's nice.
available. That's my tiger that's available. And this is my favorite owl, right? So those are just the graphite on canvas, but I paint too. And so I'll show you these two. So
That's
this
awesome.
cheetah, and then this.
I like that.
And so you saw me working on a new one last night, and I was
Right.
doing like a little time lapse video. But you can get artwork from me. You can hit me up if you see a piece. This is my biggest one that's available right now.
That's nice. That's nice. That's nice.
Mandy, I have I will send you, hit me up. I will show you some of the lions that I've done. I've
Okay.
actually done 3 in the last year and all of them sold.
Okay.
And so I'll shoot you something, Mandy, so you can take a look at them.
Okay.
But anyway, I appreciate you guys for hanging tight with me tonight
Yes, ma'am.
and being part of these conversations because they do matter.
Amen.
And I'm going to get off here and get myself situated and figure out what is going on because something's still not right in my ears. Yeah, something is still not right in my ear. Jessica's like, are you feeling better? Something's going on in my right ear.
Well, just send me a text later. Let me know.
I will. Oh, yes, I'm in. Okay. Look, here goes Ethan telling me. Ethan is like my little godsend, y'all. So there's a great little shop down in Tennessee called the Sunflower Herb Shop. And so my natural supplements and stuff. Yeah, it is. Hold on, let me give it to you, Tammy. Let me give it to you. Sweet baby Jesus. But Ethan sends me like my ashwagandha from Evie. Evie is like a great herbalist.
Okay.
And so like when I had my shingles, they sent me some stuff to put on for my neuropathy.
Wow.
It was fantastic. Yeah, so that's where all my stuff is. So Tammy, I just posted the link to the Etsy. So
Okay.
like the bracelets are there and the decks are there. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, you guys.
Okay.
I appreciate you. I will see you Thursday night at 8 p.m. All right. Peace.